A bit of Morgan magic gets Aston Villa's pre-season off to a flyer. This is your instant match reaction to Walsall nil, Aston Villa 3. Good evening and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are well over 4,300 subscribers on the road to 5,000. And get your comments in below on Aston Villa kicking off their pre season in style with a 3-0 victory at the Bescott Stadium against Walsall. Morgan Rogers at the double and Louis Barry rounding off a pretty satisfactory performance right at the death to secure the 3-0 victory. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the players. It was good to see some new signings make their appearances. Good to see some of the young players as well come through. And yeah, all in all, a pretty satisfactory night. So starting lineup, Villa played two different lineups, one for the first half and one for the second half. So they started the game with Olsen in goal, Matty Cash as the captain, Josh Feeney, Pau Torres at centre back, Alex Moreno at left back, and then Lamar Bogard, Ross Barkley returning to Aston Villa, Kane Kessler Hayden, Jimo Aloba, young player, and then Morgan Rogers playing off Cameron Archer up top. So quite a lot of pace, and the first half, started quite easy for both sides, passing it around the back and one or two little hairy moments. Ross Barkley just looking a bit rusty, made a little mistake, and Walsall did put the ball in the back of net. However, the attacker was offside. But midway through that first half, a little bit of quick thinking. Ross Barkley was brought down in the opposition half and took a quick free kick. Morgan Rogers was straight onto it, defence splitting pass, and Rogers calmly slotted past the goalkeeper into the bottom corner, and it's 1-0 Aston Villa. And then around 5, 6 minutes later, ball into the box from a corner, bouncing around, and Rogers was there again to slot the ball again into the bottom corner and a nice tidy finish. Rogers as well had a fantastic effort that was a great save from the keeper. Could have maybe had a first half hat trick had it not been for a fantastic save from the keeper tipping it over the bar. And yeah, Kane Kessler Hayden looking sharp, looking fast. Cameron Archer looking quite quick as well. And Ross Barkley looking nice and tidy, nice and solid on the ball. And some of the young players, like I said, Bogard, looking quite settled, and Josh Feeney having a really good first half as well. And it was nice to see some of those players like Pau Torres coming back into it, and Alex Moreno as well. So all in all, a pretty satisfactory first half for Aston Villa. Just a nice way of playing, nice solid shape to us, and Morgan Rogers quite clearly stealing the show in that first half. And if he can continue with that form and that sharpness, he could be a real star for next season. So really, really interesting to see him come through over this preseason and into the start of the next season. Now, second half was again totally different side. We saw Joe Gauci coming into the goal, Nedeljkovic at right back, this time Sil Swinkles with Diego Carlos at centre back, and Caden Young came in as well, Luca Dean at left back, and we saw Berena Chea, we saw Leon Bailey, we saw Samuel Illing Jr., we saw Louis Barry, and we saw Leander Dendoncker as well. So again, totally different second half, and it took Villa a little while to get into their stride. Albert Adoma, starring for Walsall, was quite a thorn in the side for the first 5 to 10 minutes of that second half. And Villa couldn't quite get going. Leon Bailey looking a little bit rusty, but that's completely understandable. And and Walsall understandably putting a lot of effort into trying to get back into the game in that second half. But as the half wore on, you could see the spaces opening up, and Berenacea in particular looked very tidy on the ball, didn't give the ball away, always looking to get onto the ball as well. He had a fantastic effort from just outside the box as well, just went over the bar. And as it went on, Caden Young started to find space down that right hand side. Leon Bailey linking up quite well with him. And on that left-hand side, Luca Dean was very bright, putting one or two really dangerous balls across the box. So that was encouraging to see. And I guess it was a matter of time until that goal came. And Caden Young had just had an effort where he'd a brilliant crossfield pass. He kept the ball in play and crossed it in, and it took a really heavy challenge from the Walsall defender, and that possibly could have been a goal. But we did score in the 90th minute. Louis Barry, who'd worked very hard all half, not really had too much joy, and was switching out to that left-hand side, and Illing Jr. was going through the middle. And it was quite interesting to see the fluid movement between Leon Bailey, Illing Jr., Caden Young, and Louis Barry through that first half. But Bailey picked up the ball, came off the defenders on the half turn and just slotted Illing Jr. in. He could have maybe had a shot himself, but chose the unselfish route, crossed ball across the box to Louis Barry, who's just slotted it past the keeper. And that was pretty much the last touch of the game, and that made it 3-0. And yeah, like I say, a real satisfactory night for Aston Villa. It was good to see some of those new signings. I thought Nedeljkovic looked very sharp at right back. He had one really nice moment where he kept the ball in play again and just took it past in one motion the defender and put a lovely cross in that just got blocked out. So he looks quite sharp and quite willing to get on the ball. As I said, Chair looks really nice and on the ball and nice and tidy. And Sam Illing Jr. grew into that game as well. And yeah, nice to see Leon Bailey featuring and Diego Carlos featuring, and they'll get minutes. And it was also good to see Joe Gauchi in goal. He looked quite settled, good handling skills. You know, Robin Olsen maybe dropped one in the first half that wasn't fantastic. It's typical to know him. But oh, look, it's early season, very, very, very early in the preseason. It's the first game, 45 minutes for each of those players, and I'm sure they'll find that a valuable exercise and not read anything into it as other than fitness and other than getting a nice touch on the ball and looking at team shape. It was interesting to see Moussa Diaby not in any featuring at all. So does that open the door to this move to the Saudi League, to Al Ittihad? And no Jacob Ramsey as well. So that's we hopefully see him maybe on the weekend or ready for the tour to America, as will Emi Buendia, hopefully as well, because it would have been amazing to see him in the game today. But we'll have to wait for him to come through. But like I say, really good workout. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think Morgan Rogers, obviously with a double, looks really sharp in that first half. Chair for me in that second half was probably the pick of the bunch as well, and nice for Louis Barry to get on the score sheet, because to be honest, I'd totally forgotten about him in terms of an option moving forward. But I'm pretty sure he won't be with us at the start of the season. I think he'll get a loan move or a move away from the club. But as I say, nice to see him and nice for him to get a goal. But like I say, you let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will be back later on for a transfer talk roundup, because Joao Felix, Nico Williams, Mateus Sule, lots of players linked now with Aston Villa, as well as this Moussa Diaby transfer moving out from the club. So lots to talk about, and we will also preview the upcoming game in Slovakia against Sparta Trnava Saturday afternoon. We'll talk about that and also do a reaction to that. So another workout for the players. So plenty of shows to come. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Thank you all for watching, and as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.